Some authorities of grammatical tradition. The Babylonian did discuss some aspects of grammar, but they are not very much known. So the first tradition that we find is in the Sanskrit tradition. The first systematic grammars of Sanskrit originated in Iron Age. So Yaska is the first to be referred to as an authority of grammar, but the most comprehensive of all is Panini. Panini's book is still referred to. It has a lot of rules of grammar, up to 4,000 almost, 3,946 rules. It was written probably back in 5th, 6th century BC. Then Pingala and Katyayana and Patanjali, these are some of the commentator of Panini's grammar. Though we know that basically Panini wrote grammar for the preservation of the Veds, so that people in the who comes after could understand the Veds. Tokapiyama, the earliest Tamil grammar, is mostly dated to before 5th century AD. In the West, grammar emerged as a discipline in Hellenism from the 3rd century BC, forward with authors like Rhianus and Aristarchus of Samudres. So, but most influential of all in this tradition is who wrote the oldest known grammar book is The Art of Grammar by ancient Greek scholar Dionysius Thrax, because the present day parts of speech are referred to this Anthrax work, a student of Aristarchus of Samudres, who established a school on the Greek island of Rhodes. Dionysius Thrax grammar book remained the primary grammar textbook for Greek schoolboys until as late as the 12th century AD. The Romans based their grammatical writing on it, and its basic format remains the basis for grammar guides in many languages even today. Even today, we follow some rules of grammar and derive them from this Dionysius work. Latin grammar developed by following Greek models from the 1st century BC due to the work of authors such as Orbilius, Popilius, Ramius, Palamon, Marcus, Valerius, Probus, Varius, Flaccus, and Emilius Asper. So they followed the work of Dionysius. A grammar of Irish originated in 7th century with the Oricept na Ikes. Arabic grammar emerged with Abdul Aswad al-Dawali in 7th century, Sibway's grammar, and many other grammars. They are excellent work of grammar. The first treatise on Hebrew grammar appeared in the High Middle Ages in the context of Mishnah exegesis of the Hebrew Bible. So they were the commentaries of the Bible in Hebrew. The Quranic tradition originated in Abbasid, Baghdad, and the Dikduk is one of the earliest grammatical commentaries on Hebrew Bible. Ibn Barum in the 12th century compares the Hebrew languages with the Arabic in Islamic grammatical tradition. So these are very good commentaries. Belonging to the trivium of the 7th liberal arts, they were the which were 7 arts which were taught in the university in the medieval era. Grammar was taught as a core discipline throughout the Middle Ages, following the influence of authors from late antiquity, such as Priscian. Priscian is a very important of the 5th century, who also contributed to the parts of speech. Treatment of vernaculars began gradually during the high Middle Ages with isolated works such as the first grammatical treatise, but became influential only in the Renaissance and Baroque periods. In 1486, Antonio de Nebrija published Las Introducciones Latinas contra Persetul al Romanus al Latin and the first Spanish grammar, Grammatica de la Lingua Castellana, in 1492. During the 16th century Italian Renaissance, the Questione della Lingua was the discussion on the status and ideal form of Italian language initiated by Dante di Bulgari. The first grammar of Slavian languages was written in 1583 by Adam Boharik. Grammars of non-European languages began to be compiled for the purpose of evangelization and Bible translation from the 16th century. Grammatica o arte de la lengua general de los indios de los reinos del Perú. These were the model grammars. From later part of 18th century, grammar came to be understood as a subfield of the emerging discipline of modern linguistics. So 18th century, the grammarians started discussing language more objectively and scientifically. So this is the time when they turn towards linguistics. The Deutsche Grammatica of Jacob Grimm was first published in the 1810. The Comparative Grammar of Franz Bopp, the starting point modern comparative linguistics, came out in 1833. So this is the first step toward the modern grammatical work, and here we find traces of the early discussion of syntax in tradition of grammar. So these are some of the authorities who worked in the tradition of English language, Latin language, and obviously we have talked about Panini and Yasaka, etc. So all these people have contributed to this knowledge of grammar. It's a very noble knowledge, and they all have contributed to the development of language one way or the other.